Good morning, sunshines. He goes, no, no, no. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about professionalism today, and then we're going to talk a little bit about like mental health and taking care of yourself tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to do something fun. I don't know what yet, though. I need to get through today and tomorrow. So once I get through today and tomorrow, I'll figure out something fun for Thursday. Does that sound good? Okay, no journal prompt for this week because I have enough life plans to read. So you're welcome. I just figured one less thing for us to do and or have to take care of. So no journal prompt. I got rid of it. I took it off the thing. So really the only thing that you need to concentrate on this week is getting the life plan done and submitted. I've been working through the letters to the cohort. I apologize, it's taking me so long, but there were a lot of people that submitted videos and they're really cute. I love them. So anyone that did a video, I love them. So it's been taking me a little bit. So I'm hoping to get those finished today. But any questions, comments, concerns on anything we've done so far? No? Okay, cool. So we're going to start off talking about professionalism and why is that we want to give you the tools to understand and to be able to implement this skill of professionalism. It is a skill. It's something you have to practice. It's something that just doesn't happen. We're also going to talk about its importance both on campus and off, and as you move forward through your careers, what it's going to mean to you. So what is professionalism? It basically encompasses everything about you as a person, okay? It's going to be your behavior, your appearance, your ethics, your workplace ethics. It's going to be your ability to concentrate on work before drama, in a nutshell, okay? Are you able to leave the drama outside and get the work done and be professional about it? Are you able to avoid any unnecessary distractions? Can you kind of turn those off? And the whole reason behind it is because the more professionalism that you're displaying, you are going to come across as more competent and more valuable to your employers, and you're going to be seen as a leader by those around you. So that is both on campus and off. So where should we show professionalism? Well, there's a few obvious ones, such as like interviews and work environments, if you're at a conference of some sort, but we also want to show it in classrooms, organizational meetings, in, sports games, and on campus as well. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to do it. There are 3 typical professional dresses that are used out in corporate America. We've got formal, traditional, and business casual. Has anyone heard of like any of these words? Yeah. So these pictures are a little bit on the more formal side, but typically if you're told that it's a formal business, then you're talking suit and tie, white shirt, for men. For women, definitely a shirt with a jacket of some sort. Usually when you're talking super formal, you're talking about darker colors, navy, black, things like that. Traditional business is where most people used to lie. It's kind of actually starting to become less of a norm. More of the norm now is the business casual. But traditional business, that's where you can reach out and do your fun colors and things like that, but you're still presenting yourself in a professional way. Business casual, a lot of times now, it means, a polo, something with a collar on it, khakis, nice pants, no jeans, no sweatpants, things like that. But making yourself look presentable and dressing in a way that is fitting for what you're going to be doing. Okay. When I was working in corporate America, I would actually do some testing and spend a couple days at a time in a test lab. Those days I wore jeans and a polo. Okay. Because I was getting dirty and I was in a test lab and it was not just sitting in front of a computer. Days I sat in front of a computer, I typically had on a dress and shoes and, was more dressed appropriately for sitting at a computer or being in the work environment. So just knowing what is acceptable and what's not, that's going to start by giving you the heads up. So what is not appropriate? Usually t-shirts, things without collars on them. Sneakers, flip-flops, wrinkled, unkept shirts, activewear. I know we've coming out of Corona, and like leggings and like activewear is like the outfit of the day. But that's not really considered professional. So short skirts, anything too tight, too revealing, or anything actually too baggy, you can't go on either side of that spectrum. One thing also to know is heavy perfumes or colognes, just be careful. Okay, please don't bathe in it. Has anyone been around that person with like the plume cloud? Usually you're stuck in like an elevator with them for some reason, right? And you want to like choke. Untidy or unkept hair, and again, baggy clothing. So just make yourself look like you have put thought into what you're doing, okay? It doesn't have to be expensive, high end. It just make it look like you put effort into it, okay? So beyond the dress code, what it's gonna help with is your confidence, your responsibility, your dependability, knowledge. It's gonna make you look knowledgeable and attentive. It's going to give you credibility without you actually having to do anything, okay? It's going to give you an air of cooperation and respect, and the fact that you have ambition, that you're taking those extra steps to move forward. So how do we translate that though, like onto campus? You guys like live in the hobo chic. I see a lot of you. The boys live in the hobo chic. How's that? Can we just like put it on the boys? I just thought that was a really funny graphic. I like the wizard robes too. So you've got wizard robes over here for graduations, then you've got the hobo chic. So one of the first things you have to think about is, what is your role on campus? What are you? What skills and qualities are necessary for what you're doing on campus at that time? Because your roles can change. What qualities are similar between these types of roles and what you would consider in a leadership position? So what kind of roles do you have as students? You guys are leaders, whether you want to be or not. You are mediators and tutors, event planners, enforcers, role models, community builders, academics, friends, roommates, right? Employees, athletes, okay? So which role are you doing at that specific moment in time? Regardless of what role you're doing, you are a representation of the university, okay? And that's a responsibility, okay? You want to show that the students at this university are, a certain way. So you are the face of the college. If you're an athlete, it's when you do away games, things like that, right? You're expected to act in a specific way. Students may know you even when you don't know them, okay? That's very common. And you could possibly be the presence that makes or breaks someone's impression of their college experience. But you may never know whether you did anything, okay? What qualities and traits do you desire in an institution, right? So what do we want to convey? And how do we use those traits moving forward? We're at a very small university where people have personal relationships with their faculty and staff, and we know everybody. And is that, what you want out of life? So examples: appropriateness, inclusivity, and being supportive of other students and coworkers. When I go to some of the athletic games, it's really great to see, everybody cheering everybody on and being very supportive in that type of setting, whether it be on a pitch or on the court. Carry that over into the classroom as well, okay? We're not all student athletes, but you can carry that supportiveness outside of that athletic world. One of the things is you do need to be aware of your community and those around you. Okay, remember, I've said day one, I only know what I know, right? I have to be exposed to other experiences through other people, okay? So keep in mind things like sexual orientation, race, gender, ethnicity, religion, socioeconomic status. Do you have, I was gonna say coworkers. Do you have other students that have ability or other barriers? Just being aware of these types of things makes you a little bit smarter about them. Okay. So opportunities on campus, you still need to maintain a certain level of professionalism on campus. You may have any type of interaction on campus. It's a little bit less likely on a smaller campus like ours, but on a larger campus, you know, we know what our administration looks like. We've seen, you know, President Pettit just walking around and things like that, right? We've seen him at basketball games and volleyball games. There are larger universities that you may not know what your upper administration looks like, and they just may walk past you. And if you're, you know, not being professional, it could be to your detriment. God bless you. So it's important for those, especially that want to be involved on campus, and creating those strong relationships outside of campus. Okay, everybody has networking. Okay, so you want to make sure that you make those connections. Communication, we've talked about email etiquette ad nauseum, so we're not going to go about that. But there's also phone etiquette and just how you talk with people. Do you guys talk differently to different types of people? Yeah? How? How do you talk differently? Okay, so he said when he talks to his family, he talks in one way. And if he talks to someone who's outside of his family, basically, right? There's a different tone to it, right? Yeah, my first class said when I talk to my buddies, I talk completely differently than when like I talk to a faculty member or, you know, someone considered, you know, of a higher rank or something like that. You know, someone that you have a little bit more respect for. You know, you change tone, you change pitch. You know, has anyone ever talked to like a 3-year-old like the same way you talk to like an adult? You know, you're usually like, oh, look how cute, right? Your pitch, tone, it all like completely changes, right? So you can have different tones and different pitches when you're talking to faculty and staff, when you're talking to outside contacts, when you're talking to people you've never met before, as opposed to people you have met before, when you're talking to students, current students, when you're talking to prospective students, right? They're all going to be changed. So it's okay to have a difference of the way you talk to them. And they can all be professional. It's not that big of a deal. So accessibility, we've talked about this. You should always know your expectations. So in any classroom, where do you find your expectations? Syllabus, right, exactly. So that is where all of your expectations are established before day one, right? It's now 2 weeks before start of session 2. Your syllabus should be posted for your session 2 classes. Okay. What's included in that syllabus? The way that you can contact the professor through email, phone, office hours, right? Just because that's what we do in school, you can have something very similar in a job position or an employment position, right? You need to know what's expected of you in order to perform to your best. You need to know who to contact and for what and when. You need to know what the like hours of operation are or when you're going to be considered on call, right? So these accessibility type things are not uncommon, both inside, you know, on campus and outside. So next we're going to talk about social media. So everyone knows what social media is, right? What kind of platforms do you guys use for social media? Instagram. What'd you say? Oh, is that what you said? What else? Twitter, Facebook, anything else? MySpace. Someone actually said MySpace for the first class too. I was like, is that still alive? TikTok, Snapchat, all those lovely things. Okay, we're gonna watch a quick video, which I broke in my presentation, so I'm gonna do it this way. And grown and exploded, right, over the past couple years and what it means and what the changes are. Like you said, it's hard to trust social media, but at the same time, the more that I see things on social media and then double check them, they're more true than not.
And there are some sources that.
And there are some sources that you trust. I agree. There are, you know, certain companies now on Twitter that I would trust, like, you know, the local news stations and things like that. But, you know, there's such an impact behind social media. So, for example, I said people complain on social media not too long ago, and I think it was just last week. I think it was Saturday. Carly Lloyd, who plays women's soccer was actually in Raleigh trying to make it back to New Jersey for a Gotham game. And she had tweeted at Delta, I'm running, please hold my plane. And Delta replied back to her and was like, we don't hold planes for anybody. But it's like, they now have people just searching Twitter for people's complaints. And then like, they're using it as a customer service, right? Because they're replying back to those complaints now. So it's completely changing how we do things, okay? And we have to be careful about what that does to us as a human and as a student, right? About how that affects us moving forward and how that is going to follow us once we get out of school. So we all have identity crises here, okay? We all have many roles to play, different hats to wear, right? We talked about all those different roles before. So, how does the pressure of trying to figure out, am I an athlete today? Am I an academic today? Am I an employee today? What does that do, to you as a person? Again, how can you best balance being all of that? And remember, you're still a representative of the school. It's a lot of pressure, okay? It can be difficult to balance, but it is something that we have to make it through. Remember, this is temporary, right? You're getting out into the world. Now, that being said, if you are employed by, say, Apple, and you go and bash Apple on Twitter and everyone knows you're an Apple employee, you may not be an Apple employee for much longer, right? It does not have to be, because that person is a representation of that company, okay? It doesn't stop at college, okay? Because you're not the official social media person for your company, that doesn't prevent you from having consequences of bashing your organizations. So looking at some goals, professionalism is believing passionately in what you do, never compromising your standards and values, caring about your clients, your people, and yourself and your own career, okay? Professionalism, and I love this second one, is not being satisfied with simply completing the task, okay? Professionals desire to deliver the highest quality possible, okay? That's what you need to do even in the classroom, okay? We're not doing assignments to get them done. We are doing them to deliver the highest quality possible. Last, professionalism is understanding the importance of communication, appearance, and mannerisms. Okay, professionals realize that the way we look, act, speak, and write, it is going to impact the way others view them. Okay, I'm not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong. I'm just saying that is the reality of what we do as humans. Okay, you understanding that and being cognizant of that is half the battle. Okay, you can't just put anything out there and expect someone to perceive you the way you want them to. Okay, one of the things that we can do to mix professionalism with that social media is on LinkedIn. Does anyone have a LinkedIn profile? Yeah. Okay, so LinkedIn is an online networking tool similar to Facebook, but it is designed specifically for professional networking. Okay, the whole key behind this is that these are business people looking for business connections. You can do things like find a job, you can find sales leads, you can connect with potential business partners or potential employers. Okay, the video said 80%. This graphic I found said up to 93% of recruiters are using LinkedIn to find future employees. Okay, almost 100% of employers initially screen their applicants using the internet in some way, shape, or form. Okay, what we want them to find is the good stuff, right? We don't want them to find the negativity. We want them to find information about you that makes you employable. That's where LinkedIn comes in to help. So first and foremost, students can be on LinkedIn to get a job. That's what the whole purpose of being here is, right? This temporary 4 years is so that you can get a job coming out of here, okay? It's your job to make it easier for you to be hired. Okay. No one's going to help you with that. That's on you. In order to do that, you need to tell them how you can do the work, what work you've done in the past, and what motivates you, what characteristics you have. You kind of want to give them a sense of who you are as a person on your LinkedIn profile. So secondly, it's also going to help you grow your network, your professional network, because those connections are going to be how you're going to end up finding those jobs and having that future job search. So your online profile, that's going to be your first impression. You've got things like an explanation of just who you are, where you came from. You've got a short summary, and then you can add some experience on it. So first thing is a tip. If you're editing your LinkedIn profile, turn off your notifications. Otherwise, everyone's going to see every time you update everything. Okay. We don't want to annoy these people. We just want them to bring attention that you've updated. First things first, photos on LinkedIn. Okay. Photos need to be professional. Okay. Photos are 7 times more likely to get people looking at your profile if there's a photo. Okay. It can present a, credibility. It can explain, how serious you are for a position. Professional headshots, if possible. That's the goal. Okay. Here's some examples. On the left, we've got some professional photos versus those on the right. Can you see the difference between them? I'm not saying the ones on the right are not cute photos. They're just not appropriate for a LinkedIn profile. Okay. So here, I'm going to call out some people in my LinkedIn, of which you don't know any of them, so it's fine. So let's go to my connections. So here, one of the first people I have, there's no picture, right? There's another one with no picture, but let's see, who did I use last time? I know who I used. I used Mark. So profile pictures, is this a good profile picture? No. Why? There's a big old fish. Like, is he a fisherman? Can I see his face? Not at all. I can pretty much see it's like a white dude and that's about it, right? Not a very good LinkedIn profile picture. Okay, but at least he had one. Here's another one. Is this a good LinkedIn profile picture? No, right? Why? Yeah, okay, so Cupcake says you're just looking at his booty, but okay, yeah. Can't see his face again, right? It's from far away. Is it a bad picture in general? No. Is it an appropriate profile picture? No. Okay. These are real life pictures on LinkedIn. Okay. That's why I wanted to show you the real examples. There are people that don't have pictures. Person right here, no picture at all. Okay. Does it look like a fake profile? Kinda. Okay. Okay, I'll stop calling out my friends. Okay. So go through LinkedIn and take a look at them. Unfortunately, I do this exercise a lot when I do a professionalism presentation, and I think a lot of my friends decided they were going to change their profile picture, so I didn't pick them out. But that's okay. I don't have as many as I used to. The other thing that goes along with your picture is your headline. It should be your name. Okay. You can have something like on the left where it says your degree, where you're in school, and some topics of interest for you. Okay. As opposed to what's on the right where it says dining services supervisor. Okay, that's fine, but what does that have to do with what you want to do as a job when you leave Carolina? Is this a temporary thing? Is this actually contributing to your knowledge base? Okay. A detailed headline is going to help increase your findability, okay, in having those recruiters find your information, okay? Showcase your specialties. Remember, we talked about a lot. You guys are in undergraduate programs, which means you're learning this much of your major, right? Pick the couple of topics that are important to you, and that's what you can add in your headline, okay? So for example, I can put computer science, but computer science is a lot. okay? But I can put programming and I can put different programming languages to show that I am concentrating on programming and not things like networking or hardware, things like that, okay? Oh my gosh, it's upside down. Look at that, that's funny. Or it's actually like inverted. One thing you can do on LinkedIn is you can customize your URL. So it gives you a professional URL, linkedin.com/Jennifer Gentry, okay? Go ahead and use that because it's gonna give you a professional link to a website that has information about you that is presented in a professional way, okay? In your summary, you're not selling anything, you're just trying to put some information about yourself out there. So it's going to be basically your virtual face-to-face handshake saying, hi, nice to meet you. This is about me, okay? So think about as if you're meeting someone for the first time and introducing and telling a little bit about yourself. So first paragraph, what are you doing? Okay, are you looking for a job? How can they contact you? So a great example, I'm a second-year public health student at Carolina University seeking a summer 2022 internship. Please contact me at email or phone number. Okay, short and sweet, to the point. A lot of times that first paragraph is all that's going to be read. Okay, second paragraph, you're going to have more details about yourself. Okay, this might start going into why you are drawn to do what you want to do. Why are you passionate about it? Okay, something to grab the person's attention that they want to speak to you about it more. Okay, the third is going to follow up with that passion. So this is going to go from your passion to your experience. Okay, what have you done in order to link those two things together? Have you had an internship, a co-op, a job? Have you done coursework that has been along the lines of what you're interested in? Okay. Talk about what you worked on, the problem that you worked on, what your goal was. Did you achieve the goal? What kind of challenges you found? What kind of results did you find? The last one is going to be your icing on the cake. That's where you tell about your fun stuff, your extracurricular, your community service, your involvement on campus within the community. Highlight things like teamwork and leadership, and any kind of positions that you've held in an organization that kind of lean towards that. Okay. This is where you're going to show those skills such as communication, organization, collaboration, teamwork, leadership. Okay, because that's not going to come across in anything else before that. Optionally, at the bottom, you can put those keywords again as to what your concentration is. And those paragraphs overall are going to give anyone a good indication of who you are as a person, as a well-rounded person, okay? You told about your ambitions, you told about your work, you told about how you have some of those other soft skills like communication. It is okay to write in the first person. I did this. It's fine because that's what you did. You're talking about yourself. Okay. Look for keywords. I like to go into the job boards and see what keywords are being posted as far as jobs are concerned. And then I will put some of those in my resume or put them in my summary. Okay. Use different paragraphs to show different conversational topics. And again, we're just telling a short, sweet story about ourselves. We're not trying to sell anything. So don't take it in that direction. The last thing is that this is a living, breathing document, just as you're a living, breathing person. Okay. Keep revising it. It's okay. Keep refreshing it. There's not a problem with that. Okay. If your passions change, if you do certain things, do new things, add them. Okay. It's not stagnant. Okay, it's going to keep changing. So most readers aren't going to spend the time reading your full profile. They're going to look at key points. You've got to get them intrigued so that they will look. So if they're intrigued by what you said in those paragraphs, it might likely have them download your resume. Okay, you're going to make it easy for them to find those types of things. So you can put a small blurb about your experience on LinkedIn. Okay. Company name. Internship, co-op, what kind of position was it? Okay, Carolina University for your project work. Okay, if you have a final project that you would like to put on your resume, go for it. Just put that you did it at Carolina University, right? You can use classroom projects on your resume. It's showing experience and application. Any independent projects that you worked on, okay? Now, one thing we do talk about is on LinkedIn, unlike a resume, concentrate on the experiences that will lend towards what your goal job is first, not chronological order, okay? If you had a job in high school that feeds right into what you want to do after college, post that one first and then post your work study program at university in the cafeteria second, okay? It has less to do with what you want, okay? So does not have to be chronological. Add relevant rich media. Nice thing about LinkedIn, you can add websites, you can add graphics, you can add PowerPoints, you can add videos, okay? Add anything that's going to showcase what you're doing. So if you're doing graphic design, add some examples. If you're doing website development, add some examples, okay? This is what my work looks like, okay? That's going to be help. That's going to help you get those jobs. Education, we want to put Carolina University, your degree, expected graduation date, expected field of study, minor, concentrations, class status, what grade you're in, any kind of extracurricular activities, okay, including anything that has a leadership position, and the description, which is going to be, you know, your field of study, what research you want to go into, possibly your GPA, things like that. In the rest of it, it may not be information that's relevant, but it's going to tell information about you as a person. So this is where you're going to put things like volunteer opportunities, organizations that you've joined, any awards that you have won or honors, test scores if it's applicable to your industry, publications, patents, things of that nature. Okay. Again, it's going to be given lower priority. It's going to be more towards the bottom, but it is going to show another side of you. Okay. So remember your priorities. You want that introduction, that top fold, that summary, which is going to tell about yourself. Why do you want to do it? Why do you love it? And how did I get here? Okay. And then experience, you want to make it functional, not chronological. Okay. You're going to include things like work and projects, and you want to describe your hands-on experience. Okay. When you're in college, it may not necessarily have to be an employment position. It can be coursework. Okay. If it gave you hands-on opportunities, use it. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns about anything that we talked about? No? Are you guys awake? No, that's cool. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna be talking about mental health, and Thursday we're gonna probably do something fun. Okay, I'm not gonna take attendance Thursday, but we're probably sitting here and watch a movie or something like that. We're gonna do something fun. We deserve something fun by then, right? I feel like